What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you guys having a great day so far. Hopefully, you guys having a great CVC so far. In today's video, we got a pretty big reveal announcement here from Plarium. And to be honest, I'm really surprised that they're revealing it today as opposed to tomorrow. So it's at least one day in advance of when I would have expected them to reveal this. But it's definitely news that we've been waiting for here. And it's going to be confirmation that this Thursday, July 16th, we're planning to launch the Devious Path event. This is where you're going to get a chance to get the legendary champions Varkos Headspliiter, guys, and other valuable goodies. How will we be getting points for this Devious Path event? Honestly, as predicted, pretty much to the T here. Getting artifacts and accessories, so that's going to be gear hunters / dungeon diving component. And then the second component will be getting champions from shards. This one is from shard quality. It's not going to be a champion chase style, guys. We did previously have a heroes path event for a champion with champion chase style rules. This one is just going to be summon rush, so it's going to be based on the quality of shards. The rewards that you can get from the event include the legendary champion Varkos Headspliiter. His 5-star perfect soul is also here. His avatar is also here. Twisted horns of various rarities to craft relics in the forge, and then this event is going to last 4 days. All right, guys, we got all the information here. It's going to be happening on Thursday. Like I said, they could have delayed this maybe at least a day so that people will commit more ancient shards for this boosted ancient extra ancient event, because this extra ancient event is actually lasting 2 days. Now they're giving us a heads up on this Varkos Headspliiter event, which means now you have more information to make a proper decision on what you want to do. So for example, if you were on the fence about pulling shards for this extra legendary ancient shard event, maybe you want to save those shards now for Varkos Headspliiter on the weekend, right? Like that's also going to be in consideration. Also keep in mind that there's probably going to be some kind of boosted, or progressive event happening on the weekend as well. Most likely progressive, not boosted or anything, but most likely progressive. So that could also swing your decision making also, right? So I'm really interested to see whether this was intended or why they would do this, because it makes sense for them to announce it even tomorrow to give us even less time to react. But I'm very grateful that they're giving us more time, because this gives us more information, like I said. In any case, Varkos Headspliiter, guys, we've been talking about this guy for a really, really long time. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, if you guys have never seen him in action here, make sure you guys check out my showcase on this champion. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. He's actually really, really good. I really like him. I was really impressed with this champion when I was playtesting him. I definitely think he's going to make it, make some, decent playtime, get some decent playtime on my account. And I have an endgame account here. He's going to definitely fit in on hard faction wars. And I think his kit is pretty interesting. He's got an A1 here, double hit, will ignore unkillable buffs. This is very important, especially against obviously wave content, where you get stuck against those, unkillable paragons. I all feel the pain for you guys, right? Well, this guy's going to get rid of those paragons for you guys. When counterattacking, will attack 3 times instead. So this makes sense because his kit actually synergizes with counterattacks. He gets 30% damage from books, which is huge. He is a defense-based damage dealer also, and he has 15-20 base defense. His A2 here, Murderous Fighter, 4-turn cooldown, books down to 3 turns with 30% in books, 30% damage in books, which is really good to see. Attacks one enemy twice, ignores block damage and shields. Again, very good buffs that you want to ignore, block damage and unkillable especially. Whenever this champion teams up with an ally to attack an enemy, they use this skill. When joining an ally's attack, will attack 3 times instead. Now, his multipliers are not bad on the double hit, but on the triple hit, his multipliers are actually quite insane. The big thing about this ability is that it does not have built-in ignore defense or anything like that. So he's not going to hit particularly hard if you don't have great gear. So you definitely need to have at least a savage set or a lethal set on him for ignore defense, or you have to run one of the big ignore defense relics so you get some ignore defense, so you can hit a little bit harder. Lastly, his A3 here, he places increased defense, counterattack, and shatter on this champion, and then he gets an extra turn. This is on a 4-turn cooldown, so effectively a 3-turn cooldown. Big self buff. You get the 15% ignore defense, shatter here. None of these buffs are protected, unfortunately, so lightning cage is a really strong blessing for him. But remember that counterattacks, he's going to be hitting 3 times with his A1, right? So when he's coming in with the counterattacks 3 times here, also these buffs are on a 3-turn cooldown, 3-turn duration, sorry. So you're going to get this back, basically full uptime on this. And of course, you can use his A3 into the extra turn into the A2 or the A1 if you want. But his passive is what really bumps up his damage and makes him a massive, massive threat and a really, really strong champion. The rest of his kit, it's fine, it's good, but his passive really makes him here. He has a 15% chance of joining an attack whenever an ally attacks an enemy. 15% chance, so about a 1 in 7 chance of happening. The chance increases to 25% when an ally from the Dark Elves faction attacks. Very good for faction war. So 1 in 4, he's going to come in with the A2. It's going to be a triple hit, and it's going to be a block revive from the secondary part of his passive. Enemies killed by this champion whenever they counterattack or join in attack cannot be revived. So counterattacks. So also when he counterattacks with his own self counterattack, he has the chance of blocking revive. Absolutely amazing, very threatening ability, really helpful against, like I said, faction war waves, just to get rid of some of those trouble minions. And if you guys check out the playtest on him, the 15% chance over a long period of time actually equals quite a bit of damage. So he's going to be attacking with his A2 over and over and over again with the triple hit version of the A2. And that's going to equal a lot of extra damage. If you guys check him out in my Hydra fights, he's going the long distance in the Hydra fights, and he's dealing tons of damage, tons of damage. A little bit disappointed that he doesn't come in here with a defense in all battles or some kind of aura. Would have been nice. He doesn't require accuracy or anything like that, which is really good. He's just a damage dealer, right? Self buffs. That's great. Good buffs for him. And then lots of synergy in his kit. Block, revive, ignore, unkillable, ignore, block, damage. Huge, huge ignores. So really good champion. Now, there is some negative about him. Obviously, he's a damage dealer, so he's going to require some good gear to really hit hard. So if you're a brand new account, he might not be that helpful for you if your gear is not that good. Just keep that all in mind. He doesn't bring a relevant aura, so he's not going to be super helpful if you're looking for help in that department. 101 base speed is also not particularly fast, so he's not going to be able to scale up his speed easily, so you do need better gear in that department as well. But the way his passive is kind of made, you don't really need him to be super fast. You can just make him be kind of like super tanky and even slow, and then just rely on his passive to come in and do some extra damage. Of course, he can be crowd controlled, which means putting him in sets like Stone Skin and Mercurial, where he can be protected from crowd control, is going to be really nice. Mercurial actually works decent on him because he does have the extra turn mechanic, so he's going to get the total guard stacks back up if he's a 9-piece Mercurial. Stone Skin to protect him so that he can get a turn, so that he can buff up and then do his big attack. So some flexibility with his build. Very strong champion. I really like him. I'm really excited for him, and definitely worthwhile going for his 5-star soul, I think. Even though he doesn't benefit from accuracy, you will be getting the extra crit damage from him, from the 5-star soul. Now the tough part is, now we're all hyping up Varkos. He's great. He's amazing. Here comes his event. And what's the price tag on this event going to be, right? So we got a hero's path for his 5-star soul. We got relics in the mix. We got him in the mix. So previously speaking, Leonardo and his 5-star soul, we can use that as a relevant option about almost a year ago at this point. But Leonardo and his 5-star soul, he's a void legendary, cost about 41 sacred shards worth of points. I'm pretty sure that was the total cost, 41 sacred shards. Yeah, he's a void legendary, so expect slight price inflation, maybe like 10% from a regular non-void legendary. So I would probably say, on average, guaranteed champions cost between 15 and 20 sacred shards. Varkos probably somewhere around 18, and then his soul probably somewhere around 16. Usually the soul costs a little bit less than the price of the champion. So I would say Varkos, as a conservatively speaking, probably about 35 sacred shards in total. Now, it's pretty expensive, of course, but I've been saving up a long time for this type of event. So it's been a while since we got a proper event where we can actually burn some sacred shards. So I've been saving up my sacred shards. So definitely going in for this event. If you have energy to spend, usually in this type of format content event, It's about, I think it's about 2200 energy per sacred shard, I think, or it's about like 2500 energy per sacred shard, somewhere around there. So you're not making up too much in terms of shard counts with energy unless you have tons of energy, guys. So rough cost for the champion, if you want to spend energy for him, about 50,000, 40,000, 45,000, somewhere around there in terms of overall energy spend. One sacred shard worth roughly about 2000 to 2500 energy. So over 4 days, you could probably shave off one, maybe two without going too crazy on the energy. If you want to dig deep into your gems, then you can make up some of that shard cost, right? But ultimately, this is a shard event. It's on the weekend. It replaces a summon rush. Lots of shards are going to be flying off, trying to get this champion, trying to get his 5-star soul. Hopefully, the relics will kind of be sprinkled along the paths and not have their totally separate path. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a total separate path for relics. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's 100 mythical relics at the bottom somewhere. For example, for people that already have Varkos and they don't want to go for a second one, then you can kind of go down the path and go for mythical relics if you want to do that. We also don't know what kind of progressive event is happening on the weekend. So it could be something really juicy that might force people's hands into spending shards, different shards that they don't want to. But for me, Sacred Shards is going to be the way to go to complete this event. Whatever residual energy you have for 4 days worth of gameplay, you can use that. Try to get a little bit of a discount on the overall shard cost. But yeah, this is going to be a big event for people that have been saving up. All right, guys. So what's left in July, right? So we got the 16th. It's going to be a Varkos event, probably all the way through the weekend. So what's left, right? So this weekend on the 24th, that's going to be the champion chase. And I think this is going to be Rhea's winner take all champion chase. So we have two big potential shard events right next to each other in terms of the back-to-back weeks. If they want to do a winner take all champion chase, this is going to be the weekend to do it. And most likely, the winner take all for Rhea is going to happen there. And the whole Web of Corruption event stuff will end the week after July ends. Obviously, the Rhea winner take all champion chase probably won't resonate with a lot of people here. Most people won't care about it. Most people don't have a chance at it. Which is fine, but some people might be eyeing this, right? And then this is going to be something that they're really interested in. And obviously going for Varkos, it's going to zap some of your shards, zap some of your resources. You have to keep that in mind going into that champion chase for Rhea, right? I would probably expect Rhea's 5-star soul to be somewhere in this last week after her champion chase. So if you guys want her 5-star soul, it's probably going to be somewhere there. Also next week for the champion not next week, but the next 2 weeks from now for the next champion chase, it's probably going to be ancients, right? So it's probably going to be ancients on this weekend, which means it's going to be a big point total weekend, big point champion chase. Again, for most people, they don't care about Rhea or her champion chase. It's just total whale spender event, right? So Varkos this weekend, definitely worthwhile since he is going to be a guaranteed champion. He's a very good champion too. So we'll definitely enjoy that. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing on all that. Does it change your mind on anything? Any of this really impact your decision making for the extra legendary event for the ancient shards today? I would be curious if it actually changes your mind on participating or not. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great CVC, and I'll see you guys in the next video.